Week 21 in USL League One opens with two chasers searching for 3 points, serving as an impetus for a playoff push. It's Lexington SC and Central Valley Fuego, presented by Central Bank. Welcome one and all to the broadcast. My name is Mark Schoenster. You're tuned in on ESPN+. Here's a look at the standings as it is right now. Lexington and Central Valley Fuego at the bottom. But with that being said, 8 teams make the playoffs, and from 8 to 12, there is not a lot of separation between these teams. So a late push this season could mean that either of these sides could be sitting in that spot instead of Tormenta. It was about a month ago the last time these two teams met, but it was on the West Coast in Fresno, and it was the road side in that occasion. Lexington getting the 3-1 result, capitalizing off of some mistakes, some individual moments of brilliance like that goal right there from Atez Diouf. Lexington will be looking to replicate that result at home. Meanwhile, Central Valley with intentions of returning the favor in the rather new stadium, Lexington SC Stadium. Meanwhile, in this game, let's highlight some players to watch. First off, for Lexington, Marcel Canadi, just his second start, his second appearance for Darren Powell's side since making his way over to the club. He's a little more acclimated than that, though. He's had weeks in preparation as they waited for the paperwork to slip through and work out. Someone who's got a couple more appearances than that is Alfredo Midense. As you can see there, he's at the top of the leaderboard in assists with 6 of them this year in league play. But there's still room for him to prove himself in this lineup, according to Mike Elias, the assistant coach for Central Valley. As we now break down some of the numbers between these two sides, when you look at these, of course, you don't want the expected goals and the goals conceded more than the goals have scored. That's why these two teams find themselves in the situation they're in. But whenever you see these numbers, you always want to point out discrepancies. And I think the biggest one there is the goals conceded versus expected goals against for Central Valley. That would suggest that they've got some bad breaks and some teams have scored some tough goals against Central Valley. And that's how you can discern that information. But this is two sides hungry for a positive result. But who will eat tonight? It's Central Valley Fuego and Lexington SC up next on ESPN+. We'll see you after the break.
Lexington is the Kentuckiest place in the world. Just look at it. It's by far the bluegrassiest, the bourbonist. See? The artsiest. And hands down, the horsiest. Oh, look, that one has a baby. I don't know why you would look anywhere else. Looking for the coolest, most Kentuckiest getaway? Look at Lexington.
UK Healthcare Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine offers comprehensive treatments for bone, joint, and muscle disorders and injuries of all types, from complex repairs to complete replacements. UKHealthcare.com, the power of advanced medicine.
This broadcast is presented by Central Bank, the official bank of Lexington SC. And it's Lexington SC hosting Central Valley Fuego FC in just the second ever game at Lexington SC Stadium. Let's take a look at our starting lineups here for both these two sides. First off, for Darren Powell, going to be a 4-2-3-1 for them. Already highlighted number 19, Marcel Canadi, will be one of the two double pivots for his side. He can plug into several different positions in the middle of the field. Darren Powell told me yesterday, and this is the role he needs to come into today, especially with the absence of Abel Caputo, who is serving a red card suspension. For Central Valley, Fuego on the other side, an ultra-defensive formation for the assistant head coach, Michael Elias. 5 in the back. You would expect Deshaun Nembard and Siobhan John Brown at times to push ahead if they have the opportunities. But the fact of the matter is he's looking for a more cautioned and calculated approach in this game on the road. I got the chance to talk to him earlier today about his approach in this game, and that was what he was telling me, that they need to be a little more measured. This is a side that's been ultra aggressive as of late. You can see Lexington in the black, Central Valley Fuego in the red. Our head official for this evening's match is John Rush, as we await the kickoff here as we start off week 21 in USL League One action. The clock is ticking for these two sides, both on the outside looking in. It'll be Central Valley to start things off here. As I hear Vasquez kicks it off, and these are two teams that are down but not out. 3 points could be pivotal for the rest of the season for either of these teams should they acquire it tonight. Once again, welcome you in here on ESPN Plus. My name is Mark Schoenster. Just the second ever game here at Lexington SC Stadium. Two teams that have the chance to really turn the table on their season if they can get a result here and then build off of that and get a result on the weekend on the road. Both teams will be traveling for a road match on Saturday. So the question will be, if momentum is to be gained here, who will it be? But of course, that is under the assumption that one of these teams can find a result in a victory in this game. Imagine both teams, as the game wears on, are going to be looking to go for it all, because a draw at this point in the year is not going to do that much good. That one rolls out for a Lexington throw. Able to play the first game in the stadium last week on a Friday. We're not able to win that game against Knoxville, but I talked to Darren Powell just about how it was being able to finally play in your forever home after spending last season and a good portion of this season playing in Georgetown. He was very appreciative of their hospitality there, but the fact of the matter is now they've got their soccer-specific stadium, and boy, is it a beaut. I mentioned the experience, though, of playing on this field was very good. That one will roll out for a Central Valley throw, which will give us a chance to look at the UK Healthcare Injury Report as we take a peek at Darren Powell and the players he cannot select this evening. Zadliati, Lorela, and Akon, all unavailable. It's the same players who were not up for selection in their game last week. The surroundings were great. The grass played well. It looks like a beautiful pitch. Darren Powell said it's going to encourage passing football, which is just what you want. He also acknowledged how brilliant the fans were in that home opener. It's been a long time coming. This stadium, as all season long they'd been waiting, they've been seeing the construction, they've been seeing the progress, and now it bears fruit. Alongside that, you also get a bunch of great practice facilities and stadiums all right by. All in one hub right here in Lexington. Dense. That one tapped out by Modesto Mendez, which means a corner kick for the visitors. Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. It's taken short. Heckenberg, with some time to spare, takes the shot, and that'll sail well over the crossbar. Not a lot of threat to that one. But Chris Heckenberg does have the ability to let it fly. Given some lease there to take a shot, and that one, though, couldn't keep it down. This is the second game that's being coached by the assistant, Michael Elias, for Central Valley Fuego. Currently, Jermaine Johnson on a personal leave of absence, which means it's that man, Coach Elias, who is instead running the ship right now. Joined at the beginning of the year with the rest of the coaching staff, coming over from Ventura County Fusion, where he was the head coach from 2019 to 2023. For those unfamiliar, Ventura County Fusion, bit of a juggernaut in USL League Two. Went to 3 Western Conference finals while Coach Elias was at the helm, and in 2022, they were the USL League Two champions. So found lots of success at that level. Now coaching in the League One ranks. Also has experience as a professional player himself, having played in England and Greece. Guy with a lot of experience under his belt. The question now is, can you help propel this team bottom of the table into that 8th playoff spot? Talking to Ian Cameron last week, the coach of Tormenta, which is the team currently sitting in that spot. He put it in a pretty good way. Right now, the league is sort of cut into 2 different tables at the moment. You've got the top 7, who are now jockeying for the best seeding position they can get in the playoffs. And then that last playoff spot going down, everybody's still in the thick of it, fighting for that final playoff spot. And although, in the case of Central Valley, as a team currently in last place, they also still have the most games to play. This being just their 16th match of the season. Once this one is done, every single team in the league will have played 16 or 17 games. Both sides looking to bounce back from a negative result. I mentioned 1-0 in their home opener here against their rivals, Knoxville. Darren Powell said that obviously the side is disappointed with the result. You can't change it now. All you can do is get ready for Central Valley. Time is ticking, and this is a side that still has a lot to achieve. It feels like the guys are pretty prepared for this one. They're locked in. They're gonna have to be. Javier Mariona plays it inside for Siobhan John Brown. He returns the favor. It's tapped away. Lancaster plays it back to Nico Brown. Finds himself pretty deep right now, Nico Brown. Zuluaga up the field, but instead connects with the newcomer, Marcel Canadi. He gets it back over in the right channel. One-on-one with Heckenberg, but some reinforcements are there. Glances out for a home side throw-in. Kanadi slips this one in, but ends up rolling out of bounds for a goal kick. So there he is, the Austrian, just acquired on September 12th. Started in that home opener, played all 90 minutes. We'll see if he'll go the whole stretch in this one. But like I said, when we were looking at the starting 11s, this is a player that Darren Powell believes can plug into several different spots, which makes him all the more valuable. Mariona plays it in centrally. Carried out to John Brown. Siobhan John Brown once again. This is the Central Valley team coming off a 3-2 loss on the road against Spokane. This one's tossed back into play. Come back down from a deficit and nearly were able to find an equalizer in the dying moments of the game. At the end of the day, it was a result where they didn't get any points out of it. Marco Elias told me that the spirit of the players and their performance in the game was really good. He mentioned that it's a side that's really coming together and they played well in the match. So as a coach, you can't ask for much more. They had lots of the ball, they created exciting moments. They're a little naive at times, and then you make silly mistakes against a velocity side that's really coming into their own, and it's gonna result in you dropping some games. This one's chipped up ahead. Zahir Vasquez knocked away. Mariona plays it towards goal. The first close encounter of the evening. A nice chipped ball by Midense. Mendez and Emil Knight were there, but Mariona was trying to clean it up. It was a tough angle for it. But it did take a deflection off of Emil Knight, so it will be another corner kick for the visitors. Jose Carrera Garcia plays in the service, and no one's around for Central Valley Fuego. But the volleyed attempt from Heckenberg trickles out to Carrera Garcia. An emphatic clearance there. Means yet another set piece opportunity. This time it's both Midense and Jose Carrera Garcia on this Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. Falls down. That shot couldn't get very far for Brian Bustamante. Central Valley keep the pressure on here. Ref says play on there. John Rush, our head official. Not seeing that contact to Vasquez is worth a whistle. You missed the open. It was a 3-1 result last time these two teams played each other, and it was in Fresno. Lexington on the road winning that one. Darren Powell described that game as not one of his side's better team performances, but he was proud of the fight that they showed in that one. And looking at this opponent, he said that I admire Fuego's 1v1 abilities. They can beat you on the dribble, and they're also great in 1v1 duel situations, as Mariona brings this one down and will play it back to his keeper, Andre Zulawaga, getting his 4th league start of the season. Just 21 years old. Powell said Central Valley's been playing well recently, but the margins are so slim in this league that they haven't been able to find the results despite their performances, as this one is definitely warranting a foul. So here Vasquez is still on the ground. push there from CC Uche. So set piece opportunity for the visitors. Maybe a couple corner kicks in this game for Central Valley, and now they're looking if this vantage point will provide a more dangerous opportunity. So far, nothing has been asked of a male knight from these set pieces. Midense drove that one hard. Headed away by Lancaster. We'll stay in this attacking third for Central Valley. Jose Carrera Garcia gives it back out. Midense cutting inside, escapes. Hackenberg will tap this one back. Mariona now. Not sure if Jose Carrera Garcia was the intended target of that pass. Clayton Torr was on the other end. Midense now. Tried to poke this one in for Sean Nemhard, but didn't have enough juice on that touch. And it's chested out by Chris Heckenberg. And maybe looking to quickly throw this one in. Well, that was the thought for a moment. Nico Brown. Lexington side looking to try to ask some questions themselves. Darren Powell said one of the big keys in this game is how will his side manage the space and how will they attack the space? These are two teams that believe they can find those gaps and those opportunities. Nico Brown still working. Kanadi over to the right-hand side. Wind-up shot from Ates Diouf. Was looking to recreate the goal he scored last time these two teams played, but couldn't get the air underneath it. Nor could he put it on frame, of course, either. Kept in play, but Jorge Corrales aware of the loose ball situation and took advantage of it. Nico Brown still has it. Now swings in the cross, and it's a diving header. And Lexington has scored their first goal in their home stadium. And it's fitting that it's Ates Diouf who nods it home. The man who led the team in scoring in their inaugural year has now opened up the scoring book for Lexington in their beautiful new home. And how about the work here from Nico Brown to keep that play alive, and then serves up a lovely ball. Nico Brown with his second goal of the season, Ates Diouf with his fifth goal. Senegalese striker finding the back of the net there. They can get him going here as this final push for the playoffs is underway. He caused lots of problems last season. Hasn't quite had the same goal scoring output this year. But I think everybody in the league is more than aware of what he's capable of. That's just the kind of start Lexington be very pleased with. It's a very interesting matchup. Mike Elias was telling me about Lexington. Figured it was going to look different from the previous few matches that his side had played. He was hoping his side would be more measured in their approach in this one. But he did say Lexington have got some outstanding individuals. And two of them on display right there, Nico Brown and Ates Diouf, both showing what they're capable of. And that's Nico Brown beating two players. They're both on him. And he's able to dance his way into a window and then delivers a beautiful cross. Mariona sticks to it. He tries to thread it inside. Now Nico Brown stripped up there and wins his team a free kick. Here's a look at it again as Nico Brown was looking to find the clearance, and instead it's borne down by Javier Mariona. Takes a tumble and ultimately achieves what he was hoping to achieve there, which is to get this ball out of danger. Nico Brown, another second-year player for Lexington. It's nice to see two players who spent all of last year and, of course, all of this season playing in a temporary home be the ones to open up the scoring for Lexington. They're going to get another free kick here. And it will be our first booking as well. John Rush, our head official, having a conversation. We'll be issuing the booking to Clayton Tor. It'll be his second of the season. Lexington on the front foot. It's Lancaster. Good recognition there from Siobhan John Brown to step on that pass before it could reach its intended target. Emil Knight, well out of his line and out of his penalty area. Have to make sure he's cautious and doesn't do anything reckless there. A little bit of miscommunication there for the Central Valley Fuego center backs. Brian Bustamante, Sean Vinberg, and Clayton Tor. Three guys anchoring that back line for Mike Elias. And here's Nico Brown once again. Brown plays it across to Lancaster, and it's into the back of the net. A feeding ball for Lancaster. And the home side are up 2-0. When you put the ball in dangerous spots, you're giving your team a chance. Gonna need a closer look at this one because I'm not sure that Lancaster even got a touch on this one. Well, it looks like it was a meeting of the feet between Clayton Tor and Cameron Lancaster. It really looked like it was out of Lancaster's reach, but he may have gotten a glance on it the last second. It's going to go down as an own goal on Clayton Tor. But you know that the pressure there from Lancaster makes that clearance when you're running towards your own goal. so much more difficult. Jose Carrera Garcia trying to find an answer. Siobhan John Brown back up to cross. Midense with the pressure, kept that one alive for another moment, but now the foul will mean a free kick. That whistle from John Rush. Watch the USL Jagermeister Cup final between Forward Madison FC and Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC as the tournament cup is hoisted by the inaugural winner on Saturday, September 28th on ESPN+. You can watch it at 9 p.m. Eastern. Should be a lot of fun as we see those two teams collide. Midense feeding it inside, and wait to see what the decision is here. Modesto Mendez and Jose Carrera Garcia meeting there for the ball. Looks to be a foul on Modesto Mendez. Yeah, he went through the boot of Jose Carrera Garcia. Just outside the penalty area. We'll be getting a yellow card here, I would imagine. It'll be issued to number 44, Modesto Mendez. Let's see if John Rush can single him out and give him the booking. There he is. There's the yellow card. It'll be his 8th of the season, Modesto Mendez. And it's going to be a tight free kick just outside the penalty area for Central Valley Fuego. We look to see if they can find a response here. If they can get at least one back before the halftime break, you can feel like you're still in a spot where you can get all 3 points going into the second half. A lot of conversing and scheming here. Mariona, Midense, Siobhan John Brown, and I almost missed Jose Carrera Garcia sandwiched between the two of them. Just 5'6" Jose Carrera Garcia, so maybe a little bit easier to miss than the likes of a Alfredo Midense at 5'10" or a Siobhan John Brown at 5'9". Midense fires, it glances, and now it's effectively booted away. So 2 goals scored by Lexington. One from Nico Brown to Ates Diouf. A second one from Nico Brown, and whether it came off of Clayton Torr or Cameron Lancaster last, the fact of the matter is Cameron Lancaster was right there. So Nico Brown having himself quite the game. Right now, according to my stats, they're gonna put it in as a Cameron Lancaster goal, so that would make it officially 2 assists for Nico Brown. Of course, there is time for that to be changed or updated as the game goes on. I talked to Darren Powell just yesterday about the chemistry with some of those guys up top. It's Jose Carrera Garcia has the ball. That's Midense who's slow to get up. And he tried to win his team a corner kick, but instead it trickles through for a Male Knight. Darren Powell was telling me that the guys like Lancaster, Cerritos, Diouf, Nico Brown, they work together well, and they've been working on movement off the ball recently. How they'll arrive into different spaces, when to go short, when to go long, tactical decisions like that to help create more opportunities. That one bounces out for a home side throw. USL Championship soccer continues on the ESPN networks in September with a matchup of top teams from the Eastern Conference. Detroit City FC takes on Player Shield leader Louisville City FC in a Sunday afternoon clash. September 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. That one's coming back. 30 minutes through the game, 2 goals for Lexington. Nico Brown doing some damage on that left-hand side. Here he is again, Brown. Sensoritos running. Sensoritos is able to get that one inside to Yankum. Yankum still going with it. Yankum deflects out for a corner. Yannick Yankum would not go down easily. Maybe not have gotten a piece from Zuluaga. They're gonna call it a goal kick. But another promising moment born from the left side of the field for for Lexington. They're finding a lot of luck, combining and making plays in that area of the pitch as Zahir Vasquez and Siobhan John Brown push it the other way. Long distance effort, off the mark. Cheers to local beer. West 6th Brewing is proud to be the official craft beer of Lexington Sporting Club. Find their locally crafted beers all around the state of Kentucky. From their flagship West 6th IPA to Sixer Light Lager. There's something for everybody. Head to west6th.com to visit one of their dynamic tap rooms and learn more about Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC. Mates Diouf doesn't get that one right. Looked at the stats in the open. Lexington, coming into this game, had an expected goals on the season of 15.59, and yet it scored 19 goals, so that's an overperformance in that category, and they're continuing that trend in this game. Currently at a .37 expected goals, and yet have 2 on the board. So 2 great capitalizations from Darren Powell's side to get them up 2-0. The question will be, can they maintain it, or will Central Valley fire back in this one? Diouf hits the brakes. Lancaster shoots, and he scores! They're racing on all accounts. Lexington are up 3-0. What a high-octane start to this game for the home team. And it's another fantastic goal at that. Diouf sets it up for Lancaster. And woof, he just whacks it. One-timer. Just beyond the stretched arms of Andre Zuluaga. Diouf has an assist and a goal in this game. Lancaster with his 5th goal of the season, which ties him up with Mates Diouf in that category. It is all thumbs up for the home side. I asked Darren Powell how the response in training has been after that loss last week. He said, I would say the response is good, but the fact of the matter is his team has trained well all season long. They've been business as usual in that regard, but not in the status quo sense. But that his side has always been training hard, and he said the only thing you can do after a bad result is clock back in, get ready to work, and now we're seeing the fruits of some of those labors pay off. Said it before that third goal. Darren Powell had a meeting with some of those guys to try to figure some things out as Midense looking for an answer. Cuts to his right, Midense shoots, a male knight. Closes the wickets. Midense did well there to create the window, but the door shut between the legs of the male knight. Another corner kick incoming. Still in the fray of things, Jose Carrera Garcia falls to the left side. And it's out for another corner kick. Brian Bustamante trying to get his first professional goal. Jose Carrera Garcia floats this one up nicely. Midense winds up. Now he'll shoot, curling it, punched away. A male knight flying towards that one. Another service is in, but the whistle blows. This is a wonderful ball from Jose Carrera Garcia. Just the kind of service you're looking for. And then Midense tried to finesse that one, but a male knight was ready for it. Do have two players down for Lexington. And collided on that second service.
The referee has issued a yellow card to Super Fuego number 33, Sean Vinberg.
Yellow card has been given to Sean Vinberg during that time. It's his second yellow card. It's always precarious, those moments when you've got a bunch of bodies clumped up, all jumping up, trying to get their head on the ball, and on many occasions, sometimes instead, you start hitting each other, whether it's on purpose or not. I mentioned Sean Vinberg got a yellow card, number 33. Right in the thick of it, jumps up and may have hit ahead of Jorge Corrales. One of the two players who went down, Corrales. Vinberg now communicating with Brian Bustamante. The guys along that back line. Good to see Mendez and Corrales back up on their feet. Both have been regular fixtures on this back line for Darren Powell. This has been quite the performance here in this brand new Lexington SC Stadium. Just the second game held here. The first one didn't go as planned, but this one certainly the kind of performances that Lexington are looking to have here in this new palace of theirs. And boy, is it beautiful. I love the color pattern of the seats. That was the immediate thing that stuck out to me when I got my first look at the place. There'll be a yellow card to one of the goal scorers, Cameron Lancaster. That's the first yellow card Lancaster's acquired in the regular season this year. And it's justified. Cameron Lancaster, of course, of famed USL Championship notoriety. Heckenberg loose with his touch there, and Janka came pressing in. Here comes Central Valley. Laid off, Midense taps it to his left. Jose Carrera Garcia now. Drags it over to Mariona. Mariona searching ball inside, now it's Nico Brown on it. And he just got fouled once again by Mariona. And that's not the first occasion. Would not be surprised if the next time Javier Mariona commits a foul, he goes into the books, especially if it's against Nico Brown. Well, he's got to worry about repeat offenses. Mariona, one of the young players who has gotten the opportunity to step up for Central Valley Fuego this season. Another free kick incoming for Lexington. And a half that has gone oh so well for them. Marcel Canadi. He's the one to take this free kick. Just his second game with Lexington. Canadi's ball looks pretty nice. Nico Brown, how about that touch? Still with it. Brown playing this one back. Chipped up ball from Corrales. It's headed away. This will end up being a throw-in for Central Valley. Actually, a free kick. Siobhan John Brown getting clipped there. So, select the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. So here Vasquez. Gets that one knocked away from him, but he'll keep pursuing. Christine Liu Young laying it up the field and out for a Lexington throw. So as of right now, the tally can all be lumped to 3 players for Lexington. Nico Brown, 2 assists. Ates Diouf, an assist and a goal. Cameron Lancaster, 2 goals. Still in the books, that second goal as a goal scored by Cameron Lancaster. And I think that he may have just gotten a piece of it, especially with the velocity it was going towards goal. You never know. Once again, it was an attempted clearance by Clayton Torr, so you're going to put some juice on that one, but I would say when it's a close call like that where you're not sure if Cameron Lancaster got a piece of it or not, might as well give him the goal. And not just give him the goal, but even maybe more importantly, give Nico Brown the assist. It was a great effort on his part. That is where we stand right now. It is quite the hole for Central Valley. A team that's played pretty well as of late. If you've watched the games that they played in, but if you're just looking at the results, maybe that wouldn't suggest that. Talking to Michael Elias, he said that he's kept encouraging the guys as Siobhan John Brown has an opportunity. Ball's back to Midense. And it may have just hit the hand of one of those 2 attacking players. As a coaching staff, they've kept encouraging the guys and raising their spirits. because Mike Elias thinks it as well. They've been playing well recently. They just need to tidy up on some individual mistakes. And their message as a coaching staff has been absorb information and execute the plan. And he said to an extent, they've been doing that. Sometimes it's just little moments that can compromise a result. In this game, as of right now, they're going to need some big moments to get back into this one. So there will be 4 more minutes in this one tacked on. Youngcom. Nice little back heel. Cerritos to Lancaster! A second effort is good. And Cameron Lancaster has got 3 finishes in 1 half of action. A hat trick for the legend. How the first effort didn't go in. It was so close. But he's persistent. It's wonderful from Youngcom. Cerritos just gets that one away. And then the persistence from Cameron Lancaster to make it 4-0 Lexington. What a half of action. Had over 80 goals playing for Lou City in the USL Championship level, including 9 goals in the playoffs. He's now gone from 4 coming into this game to 7. And after a season that hasn't had that many hat tricks, we've now had 2 in the span of just a couple of days. Siobhan John Brown taps it back out to Tor. Inside, Mariona. Playing it back to Midense. Midense dancing. And he loses control. There was a hive of Lexington players all around him as Ates Diouf is breaking down the other direction. It's 1-on-2. Diouf gets bested there by Sean Vinberg. Ref says play on. The Lexington fans not happy with the call, but it may be the only occasion this evening that they can be unhappy about something. Javier Mariona running this one down. Playing this one inside once again. But a couple times Mariona has found himself in a similar spot. But that ball looking to be around the 6-yard box. Hasn't reached its intended target on any of the occasions. The idea is there. You may get another opportunity to execute it here. Midense cuts it back across, and it's cleared out. Midense. Too much air on that service, and it'll bend out of play. What a first half of action here from Lexington. Once again, worth recapping. Nico Brown, 2 assists. Ates Diouf, an assist and a goal. And a hat trick for Cameron Lancaster. I said it moments ago. A season that's not had that many hat tricks. Cameron Lancaster gets 1, following a hat trick that was scored on Saturday by Liam McKinnon. As this first half concludes, and it's a half Lexington probably never wanted to end. 4 goals in a flurry for Darren Powell's side. And in a game where both of these teams are looking for a spark to help make a push for the playoffs, boy, have Lexington found one here. Just the third hat trick of the season. We shout out our producer, pulling that one out of the hat and getting that one ready. Cameron Lancaster. Not a man unfamiliar, just scoring a lot of goals. But that's the first time he's done something of this sort in Lexington colors. Well, we're gonna go to a break. Lexington have a lot to cheer about. Central Valley Fuego have a lot to think about. But we got some great halftime content coming your way on ESPN Plus after this break.
We live with you, build with you, grow up with you, and dream with you. At Central Bank, we belong to the same communities you do. You're our neighbors, friends, and business partners. And through the relationships we build with you every day, we consistently serve you better. That's what highly personal banking is all about. We start with you.
Hear that?
Race to the top.
You're on.
It's time to power up your old checking account. That's why Commonwealth Credit Union created Power Checking. This incredible all-in-one account powers your spending and with built-in high-yield savings, grows your balance at the same time. No minimums, no limits, just unparalleled benefits.
Raise it back down.
So kick it up a notch with Power Checking, only from Commonwealth Credit Union, the official credit union of Lexington SC.
Well, what a first half we had here. 4-0 in favor of the home side, Lexington over Central Valley. You're watching the halftime show on ESPN Plus. We've got the Jagermeister Cup final coming up next weekend, so let's take a look at how the two teams that made it there won their semifinals. Boyce came crashing in. Still Devin Boyce. He shoots, scuffles through. Osmond! It's the captain! Mitch Osmond gives forward Madison the lead. Sorensen slips it inside. It's Johnson. Now Alvarez hits the clutch and then scores! Luis Alvarez late in the half levels this one. Stephen Payne lofts in the cross. Falling in is Gebhardt. Now Cheney! They don't need the whistle. They've got Christian Cheney at their behest.
Been close. Over the top though, Rendon, the target. He leaves it for Horde, and he puts it home. Clinical from the forward for Northern Colorado. Space to drive into. Horde and Rendon options. He lays it off. Rendon one-on-one makes it 2-0. Glances over his shoulder. The flag stays down. And Bruno Rendon makes things 2-0 for Northern Colorado.
So a victory for Madison and a victory for the Hailstorm means they'll clash September 28th at 9 p.m. at Future Legends. One of them is going to become a current legend after that game, as one of these clubs are going to get their first piece of silverware, but which one will it be? Will it be the Jagermeister Cup darlings, Hailstorm, or Forward Madison, the side that is one of the founding clubs in USL League One. With that in mind, we've got some more halftime content coming your way after this on ESPN+. We'll see you on the other end after this from the USL.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it. We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Through traffic, Yamazaki strike, oh, Yamazaki!
Boyce! That is a dazzler! Devin Boyce, that'll do.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
We welcome you back here to Lexington SC Stadium. 4-0 after 45 plus here on ESPN+. It has been quite the first half for the home team as we welcome you in for more halftime content here on ESPN+. First off, let's take a look at the standings. This is what it looked like coming into the day. If this result holds the way it is, though, Lexington jumps all the way up to 9th place, just a point behind South Georgia Tormenta at 17 points. But of course, we still have 45 more minutes to go. Maybe a crazy comeback from Central Valley Fuego is in the order, as here's the slate for the weekend worth highlighting. Lexington will go on the road to play Richmond at 6 o'clock Eastern. Meanwhile, Central Valley will stay on the East Coast and play the Greenville Chime an hour after that on ESPN+. So both these teams, it's going to take more than just a result today for either of these sides to make the playoffs. So they got to keep churning out results, as here are the news and notes. Worth mentioning, as the result stands right now, if it holds that way, Union Omaha would be the first club in the league this season to lock up a playoff spot. Lexington just need to get points out of this one, take points off of Central Valley Fuego to be more particular, to ensure that the Owls make it into the playoffs. You see Lyle McKinnon there at the bottom for Player of the Week, and there's the rest of the guys joining him on Team of the Week. McKinnon, he said it in the first half, 3 goals and an assist for him. Just the second hack trick in the league this year. Cameron Lancaster, he'll probably have a spot on this one next week, given the fact that he just got the 3rd hat trick of the season in just 45 minutes of action. Maybe he'll be looking to chase Lyle McKinnon in his League One record of 4 goals in a single game. He's the only player to have ever done that. Lancaster has 45 minutes to see if he can catch up on that one. With that in mind, we're going to step aside one more time. When we come back, we'll have the highlights and the stats from the first half of action. But before we go to break, we're also going to show you the highlights from the home opener in the stadium between Lexington and Knoxville. We'll see you when the second half resumes.
Rolls it across. Ballard, opportunity here on the left foot, and he puts it away. Down a man, but up a goal. Right off the bench and onto the score sheet. Richard Ballard out of his feet. And a fantastic left-footed finish. Here's Lou Young now driving this to the end line. A great ball, and that header is just wide. Nothing. Lou Young driving that one to the end line. Yanks him in the box.
Lexington is the Kentuckiest place in the world. Just look at it. It's by far the bluegrassiest, the bourbonist. See? The artsiest, and hands down, the horsiest. Oh, look, that one has a baby. I don't know why you would look anywhere else. Looking for the coolest, most Kentuckiest getaway? Look at Lexington.
UK Healthcare Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine offers comprehensive treatments for bone, joint, and muscle disorders and injuries of all types, from complex repairs to complete replacements. UKHealthcare.com, the power of advanced medicine.
We welcome you back here to Lexington SC Stadium, where we are moments away from getting the second half started between Lexington SC and Central Valley Fuego SC. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half of action, and as you look at the scoreline, probably going to be pretty lopsided in which highlights we show you. Yannick Yankum plays over to Nico Brown. Nico Brown can't get himself away here, but he keeps going. And then eventually lets this cross fly, and Ates Diouf comes flying in to give his side the 1-0 lead. Just 18 minutes into the game. Look at Nico Brown here. Hacks it by Heckenberg. And is able to whip in a dynamic cross that Ates Diouf gets on the end of. Not too long later, it would be Nico Brown once again catching them on the counterattack, and Cameron Lancaster gets his first of 3 goals he would score here in the first half. Did he get a piece of that one? It looks to be the case. That makes it 2-0. Then 10 minutes later, Ates Diouf sets up Lancaster, and he gets this one so purely and makes it 3-0 in favor of the home side, but they're not done yet. Before the half would conclude, Lancaster would complete the hat trick. Talk about a finish there. Nearly goes in on that attempt, but the veteran knows if the ball is loose in the penalty area, it's any man's game to get there first, and he slides in and is able to knock it home. Here are your stats from halftime. Once again, it's worth pointing out the expected goals here. Central Valley Fuego's at .69, Lexington's at .79. So the fact of the matter is these have been some quality finishes from Lexington, and continues the trend that Central Valley Fuego have had throughout the season, where the amount of goals they are expected to concede versus the amount of goals they have conceded are only getting more and more drastically different. See, they even have the edge in the total shots. Of course, Lexington, the slight edge in the shots on target. But it has just been a clinical half of action from Lexington, and they'll be looking to replicate it here. Lancaster in a good mood now, talking to our head official, John Rush. Meanwhile, the mood not going to be as high for Central Valley Fuego here. But look, you got 45 minutes. I think if you're Central Valley, you got to show something here. Even if you don't mount a incredible 4-goal comeback, just getting a goal or two back here, so then when you quickly turn around and play on Saturday against Greenville, you have some momentum to ride off of. So now all 5 goals that have been scored at this arena have been on the left end. Lexington will be looking to change that here in the second half if they can find one in the back of the net on the other side. We do have a couple of personnel changes. We'll get those to you once we have it officially confirmed who has come in and who has come out. But ultimately, we welcome you back here to Lexington SC Stadium.
Number 5, Kalen Fox. Who replaces number 44, Modesto Mendez.
So we have just heard over the PA. Kalen Fox coming in for Modesto Mendez. We also see Ashkenov Holland subbing in, and he's stepping in for Sean Vinberg. So that's 2 players on yellow cards who are exiting the game. Jorge Corrales plays it back to Uche. Tor was the one who was trying to play it up to his teammates. Now it's Vasquez, connects to Midense. Was waiting for the right moment to release that one across, but it ended up taking too long as this one's lofted over to the right-hand side. Sprinting down is Christian Liu Young. Liu Young rolls it ahead for Diouf. Christian Liu Young still with it. Now we'll roll it back to Kalen Fox, the Lexington, the Lexington, Kentucky player who played at the University of Kentucky. Guy who's all too familiar with the area, Kalen Fox. This one will get rolled over to the right-hand side to Ates Diouf. Christian Liu Young pops this one up. Cerritos came sliding in, was looking for the dynamic finish. There's Ashkenov Apollon, one of the 2 substitutes. Came in for Sean Vinberg. Once again, Kalen Fox, the other one, stepping in. A guy who used to play in Lexington on the Wildcats. Another one of those returning players from last year. Heckenberg leaves this one up ahead. Jose Carrera Garcia has that one looking to go forward, but it ends up getting knocked away by Kalen Fox in the moment. Now Liu Young provides the clearance. Mendez not only had a yellow card, but was also one of the 2 players who went down in that collision. Penalty area, it was him and Jorge Corrales that went down for Lexington in that occasion. Corrales still out there playing. Mendez, of course, though, has 8 yellow cards on the season, so getting one here, maybe choosing not to risk the potential of a 2nd yellow card, especially in a game that, as of right now, Lexington have so much advantage and control over. It's a nice day in Lexington, Kentucky. Both if you're a fan watching this game and enjoying what's happening on the field, but also just weather-wise, 80 degrees as of right now. Coming into September, you have to savor these warmer days as they come. And talking to Darren Powell, once it does get cold, their schedule doesn't really change all that much. He says rain or shine, we're going to be out there. Especially in Lexington, they don't really have to worry about snow, even once it gets into October. I mentioned it was very cold in February when they first started going this year, and they were able to make it work. But as of late, it's been up and down temperature-wise. Ultimately, what the temperature is, what the weather is like outside, it's something they can't control, so you got to work with it. And ultimately, that's the case on game day. If it was pouring down rain right now, they'd still have to have this match, and you might as well have some time spent in it during training so you can be better prepared for when the floodlights are on and you're up against one of the other teams in the league. Heckenberg. Couldn't get that one through Kanadi, and it will be Lexington once again. He's got Lou Young out wide, and that's who he'll send the ball to before it's returned right back to him. Kanadi chipping it up. Lancaster going down. Look to grab his face, and the whistle will blow to tend to him, but he won't get a foul. Cameron Lancaster. Of all the Magic men in this game so far, he has got the most going for him in this game. See Darren Powell talking to his coaching staff. Got some magnets there as they look to maintain the shape they're looking for going into this second half. They don't have to be very aggressive, Lexington. Meanwhile, Central Valley are definitely going to be the side that probably going to try and commit a little bit more forward. Again, a 4-goal comeback is obviously a pretty tall task, but if you can at least get a goal or two back, so then morale-wise you can go into that game on Saturday with something to ride off of. I think Mike Elias would be happier with that than where the line stands right now. That's a fun hat. Also got a collection of different jerseys there. You got the Lexington representation. I think I spotted FC Cincinnati there, and then of course Inter Miami, which has become a no-so-popular jersey anywhere you go nowadays. Can't put my finger on why that's the case, though. Dry jokes aside, Darren Powell could tell you all about why that's the case, given the impact that Messi has had since making his way down to Inter Miami. Nembard pokes that one inside. No one getting to that one too aggressively for Lexington, but Mariona not able to get there in time. Lancaster back out onto the field. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Darren Powell sporting the white polo this evening. Always nice to chat with him and build up to a game. Jose Carrera Garcia lofting this one over to the right-hand side, brought down by Siobhan John Brown before cleared away. And here's Lancaster once again. They look to send a man running. Yankum tearing down the field. Yannick Yankum tried the cheeky chip, and Andre Zuloaga read it all the way. Yankum went bold there. And Zuloaga was more than ready for it. As a pirouette there from Midense. Heckenberg shoots and he scores! One back for Fuego. It's the first goal of the year for Chris Heckenberg. A League One veteran gets on the score sheet. Midense supplying this one to Heckenberg, and he slots it home. And I've been saying a 4-goal comeback, unlikely, but at the same time you can argue if a team scored 4 goals in one half, why can't the other team score 4 goals in the other? You got to get the first one on there to start getting that ball rolling. Chris Heckenberg, Californian from Santa Clara. There's this opportunity on the other side for Lexington. Nearly finding an immediate answer. Here's Kanadi, and he couldn't put it on frame. Marcel Kanadi, new acquisition from Austria. The last was playing in Bulgaria before he was picked up by this side here in Lexington. So no clean sheets in this one, both sides getting onto the score sheet. Here comes Central Valley once again. Heckenberg. That one tapped out. Lemard with it now. Mariona plays it across. Midense still persisting with it. It's going to glance out to Apollon. Some promising moments here for Central Valley. Apollon, 2 men on him. And that one will glance nearly out of bounds, but a male knight prevents the corner kick. So promising little bit of play here from Mike Elias's crew. Mentioned in the first half, the second game, Mike Elias is in charge here during the personal leave of absence from Jermaine Jones. This is a guy who found a lot of success at the League Two level, and I asked him how much of a difference has it been transitioning to League One, and he said obviously there are differences in every league when you go up or down. Sometimes the changes could be more drastic from one league to another than others. As Lou Young sends the cross, but no one on the receiving end of it. He continued by saying, though, the fact of the matter is he has 30 years of coaching experience, so he was ready for that change, and he also embraces the challenges and the differences that come with coaching in League One. Kanadi chipping that one up, caught by Zuloaga. That was basically Elias's way of telling me, look, yeah, I know I coached in League Two last, but I've done a lot of coaching in my career, so going from League Two to League One, I'm more than prepared for it. Two-game road trip on the other end of the country for Coach Elias's side. This one is sent in. Persistence there from Siobhan John Brown, but stabbing in. It's going to be a foul, and look for a moment like maybe John Rush was reaching into the pocket, but it's just going to be a warning here, and now we're going to get some new blood into the game for Michael Elias. See the youngster Kevin Garcia and Omar Lemus coming in. Kevin Garcia scored one of the 2 goals in that game against Spokane. Just 15 years old, subbing into the match, and nearly also had an equalizer late in that game. And then Siobhan John Brown, after that foul, will go out for Omar Lemus.
He replaces number 7, Siobhan John Brown.
Talking about Kevin Garcia with Mike Elias, he said that he's a kid with really good talent, great attitude, someone who's always smiling. Boy, is he exciting. He told me, man, that last 30 seconds, got past 2 players, got that shot off, and for a moment you thought he was about to be a hero for Central Valley. That was a great save from Brooks Thompson, though, in the end. And he mentioned the challenge, though, of introducing young players like Kevin Garcia. Again, this is a teenager, not just and we're not talking an 18, 19-year-old teenager. This guy is 15 years old. He told me, Coach Elias, that is, that you always got to be careful when introducing a young player to the pro game, because you want to make sure it builds confidence. If you do it too early, or if you do it with someone who's just not quite ready for it, end up being detrimental. And here he is now. He has certainly come in and it's clicked for him. Kennedy will clear that one out as Central Valley Fuego when asking again. Kevin Garcia there. Just his 3rd appearance for the club. Midense wound up for a shot, but didn't get very far. Diouf now will turn on the burners. Ates Diouf gets clunked from behind by Deshaun Nembart, and that's going to be a yellow card. Was trying to get the shirt tug earlier, but couldn't quite reach Ates Diouf. But once he hit a bit of hesitation, Diouf, Nembart was able to catch back up and do something to slow down the breakaway. It was an explosive first half for Lexington. 4 goals to show for it. Central Valley have been able to get one back here in the second half as they try to mount an unlikely comeback. Ball lofted in. Yankum leaving that one for Diouf. Midense absorbing a lot of contact there from Fox, and now you're going to get a yellow card for Yankum, perhaps for some time wasting there. That'll be his 3rd yellow card of the season. Been a heavy trip for Central Valley to get over here. Lots of flights. Stay in Lexington tonight, and then tomorrow they'll make their way over to Greenville for this road doubleheader they've got this week. Meanwhile, Lexington will be going over to Richmond, in which will be another big under the playoff line battle. At this point in time, if you're playing a team that isn't in that top 7, it's a 6-pointer. Lancaster gets that one away to Diouf. Liu Young has Diouf running. Ates Diouf is there. Squares it back across. Yankum inside for Cerritos. That shot went wayward. And a counterattack opportunity for Lexington. Will go underutilized here. It was well worked though. Had everything you were looking for, just didn't quite have that finishing touch from Cerritos. A former Central Valley man. His one goal this season in league play coming in that last meeting between these two sides. Cerritos again here, running it forward. Yankum plays it right back to him. Cerritos across the face of goal, cleared away by Nemhard. Nice little give and go. Cerritos made the right decision there, asking Nemhard to make the play. And a quarter kick being earned by the home team, Lancaster, excuse me. With 3 goals already in this one. Only one player has ever scored 4 goals in a match, and that was Lion McKinnon last year. So we get this Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. Kanadi driving ball inside, and it's into the back of the net. Another diving header finish, this time by Kalen Fox. Five goals for Lexington in their new palace. Kalen Fox subbing on here in the second half. Maybe didn't dive as much as he did, lurch forward for it. Worth noting, this is the first time in Lexington SC history that they have scored 5 goals in a match. So this has been a game of historic proportions for Darren Powell's side. Kalen Fox collecting his first goal in league play this year. The other one he scored was that dramatic late game goal, and they were down, I think it was 2 players in the Jagermeister Cup, as Zaire Vasquez plays that one across, hopefully. There was a window of time here in the second half where Central Valley scored that goal, and then we're on the prowl once again, but Lexington has since then mounted a couple of counterattack opportunities and now have found another goal. Once again, pushing this one to a 4-goal advantage. Shot here from Garcia off target. Trying to pull a fast one on the free kick. And we've got some more substitutions on the docket. So Tate Robertson will be coming in for Cerritos. Cameron Lacey will sub in for Cameron Lancaster. So the man with the hat trick will see his night come to a conclusion. Cameron Lacey, the loanee from San Antonio, will make entrance. Meanwhile, of course, Tate Robertson, a player who had 8 assists last year for Lexington, will make his way onto the pitch. That'll be a foul on Kalen Fox, the author of the last goal scored by Lexington. That one assisted by Marcel Canadi, so that's his first goal contribution in Lexington colors, getting the assist there. All right, I posed this situation for Darren Powell yesterday. I said, let's fast forward to the end of the regular season. Lexington has gotten the results they needed to make the playoffs. What is it that they accomplish in that stretch of time that makes that happen? And he said it's the same thing that I've been preaching we need to get better at all season, which is we need to be better in both penalty boxes. He said that's where the game is won and lost. We need to be braver in our own box, and we have to attack the spaces better in the others. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Darren Powell is saying we'd love to see more of those one-yard goals, and they've gotten a couple of them in this game. As a matter of fact, I believe outside of that Lancaster finish from outside the box, every single one of them have been closer than the penalty marker. So being better within the penalty area, they certainly have been, especially on the offensive side. As a matter of fact, they've been better in the penalty area in this game than they've ever been in a USL League One match. 5 goals to 1. As Emil Knight gets his second yellow card of the season. West 6th Brewing is a proud partner of the Lexington Sporting Club with dynamic tap room locations all throughout the state of Kentucky. You can enjoy West 6th locally crafted beers for all of your adventures. Enjoy a Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC, at home games or at your favorite retailers around Lexington. Brian Bustamante, who just gave the ball away. I talked to Mike Elias about Bustamante a little bit. This is a player that early on in the year was not getting minutes, but recently has been getting 90 minutes game in and game out. He's one of those starting center back players. Jose Carrera Garcia. Surveying his options, slips this one ahead. Garcia is fishing for one of his teammates up top. And now Nemhard has it. Fortuitous moment for Fuego. Apollon rips this one inside. Took a glance off of what looked like the shoulder of Kevin Garcia, which will stop that opportunity there for Central Valley Fuego, and we're gonna get another professional debut here as Zahir Vasquez comes out and Zachary Smuck will sub in. 18 years old from Thousand Oaks, California. He's the 5th Academy signing this season for Mike Elias and for the whole organization of Central Valley Fuego. 6'2". Tall, strong striker, according to Mike Elias. It'd be a great experience for him if he gets the opportunity to come in, and that opportunity has arisen. It was announced earlier this week that he was being added to the squad on an academy contract. Spent some time earlier in the year with Phoenix Rising. Didn't see any playing time, but did see the bench. A lot of young players getting their first pro experience on this team for Central Valley, which also means a lot of potential for growth at the same time. Talking about Brian Bustamante, he's a player who's grown a lot this year. See Michael Elias there at the bottom of your screen. He was telling me that when you talk about absorbing and executing, Brian Bustamante has exemplified that this year. He was young, naive. This was his first exposure to the pros when he first got here at the beginning of the season. So he needed to get sharper, but he worked hard, started impressing in training, and when he got the chance to play in the professional matches, he did well. And although he's been impressing, he's also still learning, still growing. It's number 24, Brian Bustamante. As Heckenberg, the lone goal scorer for Central Valley, was putting that one up ahead, looking for Smuck. Here's Lou Young. Trying to get that by Apollon. But Ashkenov Apollon doing well there. Maintaining somewhat a stance. Wouldn't say he entirely kept his balance, but he got the job done. Here's Jose Carrera Garcia. One of the men pulling strings in the middle of the pitch for Central Valley. Carrera Garcia back in the middle. Smuck getting pressed on. It ultimately loses the ball, but teammate there able to pick it up. Jose Carrera Garcia rolls it ahead. Apollon. Heckenberg bested there by Yankum, but then Heckenberg fouls Yankum in the process, and it's going to be a yellow card for the captain. Yankum doing well there to position himself. As Heckenberg is clutching his left leg. John Rusher, head official, waiting for him to get back up to give him the booking, but it will be his 5th yellow card of the season once he does get back up. Lone goal scorer today for Central Valley. Nice finish from him. Combining with Alfredo Midense, which is his 7th assist of the season, which puts him further ahead in that category. A wonderful full moon tonight. You could say it's perfectly soccer ball shaped at the moment. It's nice to have this stadium in Lexington now. Previously, they were playing in Georgetown outside of Lexington. And it has been quite a great performance this evening for Lexington, in particular for Cameron Lancaster, getting the 3rd hat trick of the year in this 2024 USL League One season. Nearly a thunderous finish to the hat trick, but they all count the same, persisting, getting to that one before anybody else could. What a performance from him this evening, as Heckenberg's back up on his feet, and he'll walk off softly. We'll see if a substitution is made here or if he'll get himself prepared to come back on. A penny's being handed to him, so it's going to be the end of the night for him. So the question is, will it be Teron Williams or Denbar Benson who subs in for him?
In the 79th minute, substitution for Silver Valley Fuego FC, number 19, Teron Williams.
So it'll be Teron Williams getting his 5th appearance of the season. Stepping on for Chris Heckenberg. Number 19. You can see him just inside the penalty area now. Central Valley Fuego with 4 goals in the first half, including a first half hat trick from Cameron Lancaster, has propelled them to this significant advantage they find themselves owning. So they are looking to put themselves just a point behind Tormenta in the playoff race. 7 teams at the top half of the table who are currently in very comfortable spots. Meanwhile, the bottom 5 are fighting for that final playoff spot as things unfurl right now. Lexington, this is a game you can build off of. A team that's been struggling to find the back of the net all season despite so many capable goal-scoring options. And they've demonstrated why they're good goal-scoring options here this evening, and maybe this is what opens the door for them for the rest of the season. There's a look at Teron Williams, the Indian midfielder who last played for Fresno Pacific University. Lacey withholding a lot of grabbing there, back heels it. Lu Young turns it to Lacey. Cameron Lacey, quite a bit overshot there.
In the 82nd minute, substitution for Lexington Sporting Club. The new lineup number 7, Isaac Cano.
So another substitution working their way in. 2 of them actually, as you see them here. Michael Agbula coming in, and Isaac Cano will also be stepping onto the field. Agbula will sub in for Yannick Yanka. Had a couple of good moments this evening. Meanwhile, Ates Diouf with an assist and a goal. Scored the opener in this one, which started what would end up being one heck of a run in the first half. He'll be replaced by the Lexington native, Isaac Cano. Agbula, just his 3rd appearance of the season. The Englishman of Nigerian descent. Here's Cano in the corner. Get some moves with it, but now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. But look at that perseverance from Isaac Cano. Youngster at 20 years old. Now Kennedy got his first assist in Lexington colors the last time they scored. Now it's Robertson. Playing this one out wide to Brown. Talking about Kennedy. He's a player that Darren Powell knew was going to be coming for a couple weeks now, but due to some paperwork, I was keeping him from making it. As Nico Brown shoots and scores! It is all been clicking for Lexington. And Nico Brown, after providing the goal twice in the first half, now lets one rip and gets one himself. Skips it wide of Andre Zuluaga, and it has been a goal party in Lexington. It was already a club history best 5 goals. Now they've just upped the mark to 6. He was super effective in the first half, and now has capped off his performance with a goal on top of the 2 assists he already earned. 3 goals, 3 assists on the year now for Nico Brown. The Elkridge, Maryland man, having himself quite the night, and he's not the only one. I don't know if you could write it much better than this for Lexington when it comes to looking for a spark to be a catalyst in a late season surge. 6 goals is just about what you want. There's Kalen Fox. Up to Lou Young. Agbula was precarious there, but he's showing some staunchness and maintains possession for Lexington. Lacey taps it back out. Kanadi. Goes back and forth here with CC Uche. He's talking about Kanadi before that goal was scored. The only thing keeping him was some paperwork, and that's probably going to be a red card. Brian Bustamante is sent straight off with that one, a shirt tug on the breakaway opportunity. And that's a mistake you just can't make here. You've got a game on Saturday that you have to play in, and now Brian Bustamante has compromised that opportunity. You're already down 5 goals in this one. Now you're putting your coaching staff at a disadvantage of not being able to play you after becoming a fixture in that starting 11. A rough night all around for Central Valley. It's Tate Robertson and Marcel Kanadi, who are behind the ball. Kanadi with an assist already from a dead ball situation. Tate Robertson, who was a proven savant last year from set pieces. And it's Kanadi who shoots, and it glances off and out. It'll be a goal kick. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. This one going back to Zuluaga, just gets it away. I'll tell you this, if you're a Richmond Kickers fan waiting to see Lexington on Saturday, you could be of two minds. You could think, oh boy, are we getting a team that's going to be red hot coming to this game? Or maybe you could be crossing your fingers and hoping that they got all the goals out of their system now. One way or another, that's going to be another huge game in the race for that final playoff spot. Apollon dancing, rolling it back to Williams. And Williams' shot pinballs out. Midense. Back to Teron Williams. Jose Carrera Garcia. Gets poked around and now rolls outside. Cameron Lacey on the ball once again. 2 defenders there. Lacey keeps going. He shoots, it glances, and Zuluaga keeps that one from going out. Maybe a bit too lackadaisical at first. Midense. Once again got his 7th assist of the year, supplying the goal to Chris Heckenberg, which gives them a further advantage in the assist leaderboard in USL League One. I think it's worth revisiting the point that I touched on at the beginning of this half, which was the overperformance of goals scored versus expected goals. As this one floats over, it's headed away. We're going to get 5 more minutes here before this one is concluded. Coming into this game, Lexington had roughly overperformed 3 to 4 goals scored this year versus their expected goals. In this game, all by itself, they've overperformed by about 5. Right now, as the stats suggest, it's 1.23 in the XG category for Lexington. Well, I think you look at the scoreboard and say that, well, they've got a little bit more than just 1 goal on the sheet. Meanwhile, Central Valley Fuego at a 0.83, so right around where you would expect them to be at 1 goal scored. Isaac Cano on the break. Cano rips it across! And Tate Robertson tried to deflect that one in. Robertson looking for his first goal of the season. Got his first assist in that last goal to Nico Brown. His second year with the program. They're looking to be what I believe just the 2nd team in league history to score 7 goals. Would be the first time in league play a team has scored 7 goals. Of course, the historic Union Omaha 7-goal game against FC Tucson in the semifinals a couple years back, being the first occasion. Apollon. Now Williams plays it inside, looking for Smuck, and he found him. It was going to be a tough ask to put that one on frame. CC Uche may have gotten hit on the head as Zachary Smuck was trying to flick that ball along. USL League One debut, coming over from the Barca residency. It's the Academy program over in Arizona. Casa Grande. For those old heads in USL League One from a couple years ago, that was one of the places that Toronto FC 2 played some of their games. Midense. Trying to chip it to Apollon. Didn't have the distance it needed. With this result, Lexington will now be 1-1 in their new home, or 1-0-1 if you want to be European about it. Nemhard playing it up to Midense. That one interjected by Tate Robertson. And Lexington once again on the run. It's Cameron Lacey. Lacey into the penalty area. And Lacey tucks it home. 7 goals for Lexington. Need I say more? Those Lexington fans with the flags, they're getting in a proper workout today. A lot of reasons to wave them around. Cameron Lacey locks in his first goal with Lexington. I mean, who thought this was in the cards this evening? Surely this is a Lexington team with a lot of offensive firepower, but 7 goals is astounding. simply fantastic from this team. And I hate to keep beating that drum of, is there a better way to write up how to spark a playoff surge? Well, how about a record-breaking performance, a record night for Lexington. Just marvelous. Smuck, sliding challenge from Uche, knocks this one out for a corner. And the whistle sounds as Lexington, in historic fashion, christen their palace 7-1. A statement victory from Darren Powell's crew. It all came together tonight. A steamrolling effort from his team. It is a performance of historic proportions here. I mean, and are there words to describe how this team performed tonight? Well, we're not quite done yet here. We've got post-game thoughts after this, and one heck of a highlight reel to get through on the other side of this break on ESPN+. But your final score, Lexington 7, Central Valley Fuego 1. We'll be back after this break. We welcome you back here to Lexington SC Stadium. Just poured through the history books, just the second time in USL regular season history that a team has scored 7 goals. Lexington doing so against Central Valley Fuego. Mark Schoenster here on ESPN Plus as we welcome you in once again. Here are the highlights from that one. I mean, let's take you through it. It starts with Nico Brown beating one defender, another defender in the vicinity as he serves it up to Atez Diouf. Fantastic finish from him, and there would be more where that came from. Brown once again playing it across to Lancaster, and Lancaster would get the first of what would be 3 goals he would score. Atez Diouf. Then to Lancaster, a second goal. He'd get one more before the half would conclude. I don't have a lot of time to sit on these highlights because there's so many to get to, as Lancaster rips that one off the crossbar, then puts that one home. Then we get into the second half. Central Valley would find an answer. Midense with a nice spin here. Plays it over to Heckenberg, and Heckenberg would put this one through. But that would be the one moment of relief for Central Valley in a game full of goals for Lexington. Kalen Fox heads it through, makes it 5. Then we get to 6 goals. Nico Brown, a skipping finish, bounces just beyond the reach of Zuluaga. And then icing on the cake, Cameron Lacey putting it home to put 7 goals on the board. So, let's talk records here. One correction to offer, that Omaha game in the playoffs, they won with 6 goals, which makes this just the second time it's ever happened in league history. The first time was when Chattanooga beat Charlotte Independence in June of 2022. They won that game 7-1 as well. But once again, let's revisit those expected goals. 0.89 for Central Valley Fuego, 1.54 for Lexington. So the numbers would expect one thing, but Lexington fans receiving something entirely different here. 7-1 your final score. Will this be what propels Darren Powell's side in a late season surge? You would think, if nothing else, it would be this. That's the end of this broadcast here this evening. I hope if you're a Lexington fan, you had fun. If you're a neutral, I hope you had fun. Your final score, 7-1 here in favor of the home side for our entire broadcasting crew. I'm Mark Schoenster saying thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.